welcome to episode 3 of CometTalk. Thank you for joining us once again. We're very excited. This episode's kind of different, and we have a lot of new technology that's going to be coming up in the very near future, and we're excited to debut that. But first, my name is Leland O'Brien.
I'm Lauren.
And today our top talker is Ciera Lawrence. So Ciera is the president of Key Club, and before we get into political talk, she's going to talk to us a little about Key Club and what they are doing and what's upcoming for them and what's hot, what's new in Key Club.
Okay, well, we just had Spook Trail with 12 honors last Saturday, and we had a bake sale out there, so we made a lot of money out there. So that was good, and we're doing trick or treat for UNICEF currently because Halloween's this week. So we go out and we get like loose change for Project Eliminate, and they're trying to eliminate tetanus in third world countries. Yes, and we stay active in the community, and Megan over here is our student of the month for last month.
Key Club of the month, yeah.
Yes. Megan.
Have you ever done trick or treating for yourself?
I've tried. Didn't really make much money, but I've tried.
It's tougher than it looks. I think it takes a lot of initiative for like Key Clubbers to go out there and just go to random people's
Kinda
houses.
scary.
Yeah, it is, and ask for money.
I just
So-
got loose change from my house.
So go Key Clubbers. Okay, so now we're going to go right into political talk. So we're only going to do 2 stories this week, the top national and state stories that I have chosen. And obviously the biggest national story this week is 14 pipe bombs were sent to critics of President Trump, ranging from high-ranking congressmen, congresswomen, as well as some celebrities that are very outspoken in criticism of the president. So my question for you guys today is, who is to blame? The president pointed the finger at the hostile media, the fake news media, and that they create an environment of an intense negative environment that kind of leads people to do this, while others critique him in that, saying that he is the one that creates that hostile environment and that he kind of edges people on to create such acts. What do you guys think? Who's to blame?
I think the president's to blame because he's supposed to set the standard for us, and if he's saying all these things, he's going to promote people to do hatred things in the country.
See, I feel it's like the media in a way, how they're portraying the people. Like, yes, he does stupid things, he tweets dumb things. Sometimes he does things that aren't necessarily like diplomatic. Not being diplomatic, but I feel like the media is portraying him, like a lot of times within the media, they only cast light on a lot of the negative things he does, and never cast light on really the positive or give him as much credit as he deserves for the positive things he's doing. It's always like, oh, he did this week, this is how he messed up. So I think with that, it helps the news and helps show like the citizens who don't necessarily support him that he's not as great as a leader as he thinks he is, or makes him feel like seem that way.
Yeah, well, I can agree with both of you. I think a lot of it's kind of both. I mean, they both contribute to that environment. He says one thing, they cover it. They do something wrong, he addresses it. And I think it's just the entire climate as a whole.
I feel like it's a vicious circle.
Yeah, well, and I also feel like when you point the finger at someone else, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, but when both of them do that, I mean, both kind of contribute to that environment. So now for our state story, the Cuomo-Molinaro debate. Both of them are candidates for governor in this upcoming election coming up. Get out and vote if you're eligible. They had their debate, and it was very spirited, very intense. I think everyone should probably watch it if you're living in New York. But a few times they brought up each other's past voting records, past stances, whether it be on marijuana or a few other things. So my question for you guys is, they brought it up a lot in terms of their past stances. Do you think that they should be held accountable for their previous votes? Some of them were over 10 years ago, and so like the challenger was just very angry and confused about why they changed their stance, why they voted the way they did. So should they be held accountable, and are they allowed to change their stance?
I think they're definitely allowed to change their stance because they can grow as a person, possibly. If they're actually showing the actions of growing and changing their positions, then they can absolutely have a change.
Yeah, I agree. Because like as you get older, you learn new things. You learn how just different people's opinions, and those help shape your opinions. So like through being in Congress, you hear about everybody's, or governor, you hear about everybody's different ideas. and that can help shape yours. Like, it's not just like, oh, I believe this way, and that's my only way of thinking.
Right.
You have different ways of thinking. You can change your ideas.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so that is it for Political Talk. Thank you for joining us once again.
Hey guys, so for my pop culture segment, we did a Halloween trivia since Halloween is this Wednesday. It's like a funny thing to do. The next coming episodes will be more actually focused on pop culture, but for this episode we want to do something kind of cool and funny. I would like to thank all the kids who allowed us to interview you because a lot of people didn't want to be on it, so thanks. This is Paige. She's a freshman, obviously. I mean, I know that, but you guys know that, but okay, whatever. Just like cut that out. Okay, so my first question is, the origin of Halloween can be traced back to which tribe? The Celts, the Vikings, the Cheyennes, or the Greeks?
I'm gonna say Vikings because it sounds random.
That's wrong. The correct answer is the Celts. Which day of the year has the highest candy sales? October 28th, October 29th, October 30th, or October 31st?
October 29th.
No, it's October 20th. It's October 28th.
That was disgusting.
Ooh. Is that good?
Okay, this is Walker. That's Leah. Okay, so the first question I have for you is, in what country did Halloween originate from? Germany, France, Ireland, or Scotland?
I'm gonna go Scotland.
I'm gonna go Ireland.
Beat that out.
According to legend, what special ability are people who were born on Halloween possess? Like, what do they possess? The ability to see the future, the ability to communicate with the dead, nothing, or the ability to see their future spouse?
I'm gonna say communicate with the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys both right. Okay, that's all. Okay, this is Christopher. So the first question I have for you was, the first jack-o'-lantern was carved from a pumpkin, a squash, a turnip, or a watermelon?
I'd probably have to say a squash.
No. It's a turnip.
Turn up.
Yep.
Surprising.
The origin of Halloween can be traced back to which tribe? The Celts, Vikings, Cheyenne, or the Greeks?
The Cheyenne.
No, it's the Celts.
So.
Yep.
Is that it?
Am I going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is Ryan. So the first question I have to ask you is, according to legend, what special abilities are those who are born on Halloween supposed to possess? The ability to see the future, the ability to communicate with the dead, nothing, or the ability to see their future spouse?
Nothing.
No, it's the ability to communicate with the dead.
Very cool.
In what country did Halloween originate from? Germany, France, Ireland, or Scotland?
Germany.
It's Ireland.
Unfortunate.
Go.
Wait, I figure out what questions I'm asking. Okay, I got it.
Okay, you're good. It's rolling.
Okay, so this is Patty. This is McKenna. She's a junior. She's a freshman. The first jack-o'-lantern was carved on what? A pumpkin, a squash, a turnip, or a watermelon?
Watermelon.
Squash. Do you have a guess?
I was gonna
It was a turnip.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't get that either. Which day of the year has the highest candy sales? October 28th, October 29th, October 30th, or October 31st?
31st.
October 30th. October 28th.
Oh.
Okay, this is Kiana. Okay, so the first question I want to ask you is, what item is only banned during Halloween from 12 a.m. October 31st to 12 p.m. November 1st in the Hollywood, California? Silly string, mask, candy, or pumpkins?
Oh no.
Do you want to guess?
I don't. Okay, pumpkins. There you go.
It's silly string.
Why?
I'm not in California. Which country was the first to use trick or treat? The United States, Ireland, Canada, or France?
France?
It was Canada.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm asking it. Are you going? Okay, so this is Katie. So the first question I have is, in what country did Halloween originate specifically from? Germany, France, Ireland, or Scotland?
France. No. Scotland.
No, it was Ireland. Okay, one more. How many children have been seriously injured or killed from poison candy given to them by strangers during Halloween? 0, 475, 7, or 1,000? 0. Oh. Okay, so this is Carly. My first question for you is, the origin of Halloween can be traced back to which tribe? The Celts, the Vikings, the Cheyennes, or the Greeks?
The Cheyenne.
Oh, what is it? The Celts. Oh. Which day of the year has the highest candy sales? October 28th, October 29th, October 30th, or October 31st?
October 31st.
No.
What?
October 28th.
Oh, why? It's
I'm-
not even Halloween though.
I don't know. I'm not the person who buys candy, so.
Nah, Lauren, you're supposed to know these things.
I still the answer back on everything. So this is Raul. So the first question I have for you is, how many children have been seriously injured or killed from poison candy given to them by strangers during Halloween? 0, 475, 7, or 1,000?
Probably 1,000.
No, it's 0.
It's 0?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. The first jack-o'-lantern was carved from what? A pumpkin, a squash, a turnip, or a watermelon?
I'm gonna ask
It was a turnip. Wait. Okay. So, I don't know, is that your name? Oh, it's Isaiah. This is Isaiah. This is Devin. So the first question I have for both of you is, according to...
Sweet.
Okay. According to legend, what special ability are people who are born on Halloween supposed to possess? The ability to see the future, the ability to communicate with the dead, nothing, or the ability to see their future spouse?
I would say the ability to see their future spouse.
Nah, it's wrong. You're wrong.
Sweet.
Wow, you definitely read that.
The ability to see the dead.
Yeah. Wow, what about that? Okay.
That's
What? Okay, this
ironic.
This is the second question and the last question. What item is only banned during
I'm gonna
Halloween
lose.
from 12 a.m. October 31st to 12 p.m. November 1st in Hollywood, California? Silly string, masks, candy, or pumpkins?
Pumpkins.
Masks.
Silly string.
What?
Okay, so this is Megan. She's been on the show before. This is Delaney. Okay, so the first question I have for both of you is, which country was the first to use trick-or-treat? The United States, Ireland, France, or Canada?
Ireland. I was also thinking Ireland.
It was definitely Canada. So.
Oh, that was definitely the last one I was going to.
And what country did Halloween originate specifically from? Germany, France, Ireland, or Scotland?
Wait, what did you say?
Ireland. Which one did it originate from?
Oh, okay.
So Germany, France,
I'll say
Ireland, or
Scotland.
Okay. Delaney was right.
Just kind of look at you.
Okay, that's it.
Now we're back for my local sports segment. Big news, Carthage football upset the 3-time defending sectional champs Whitesboro, 31-19, in the sectional semifinal game. And I'm here with Nick Cav, here to ask him a few questions about how the season's gone and just how they're gonna finish out the season. So what has this season been like for you?
It's been pretty good. Our whole team's chemistry is gaining big time.
So you lose a close one in Whitesboro, then you beat JD. You hear that you guys are gonna play Whitesboro in the sectional semifinal game. What's going through your head?
Just stay composed, and it was a tough game at their home place on grass. We knew it would be different on turf.
So what was the team's mentality in the week leading up to the semifinal game versus Whitesboro?
Just keep our head on straight. Don't get in any trouble in school, and then come out strong.
So you guys get introduced, you walk out to the 40. Then Whitesboro gets introduced, they come out to the 50 and start clapping in your faces. Did that add any fuel to the fire?
Yeah, we all got pumped. That just started us out, and then we came out strong and ready to go.
So, every time you scored and you came off the field, you seemed hyped. You were pumping up the crowd, getting people into the game. Then you went back on the field. You seemed very composed. Was that your mentality?
Yeah, I'm a very calm player. I don't really get into anything on the field, but when I'm off the field, I like getting the fans involved.
Do the fans add like any fuel to you to like make you want to play better when you hear them cheering for you?
Yeah, they made that big long trip down there, and then we had to give them a show.
So overall, what did it feel like to get the win over Whitesboro in the sectional semifinal game?
It was all for our seniors. I was speechless after the game. Very emotional too.
So how does being the 3-time defending sectional champs affect the team's mindset going to the championship game against your biggest rival IR?
That set the tone for us. We knew we can play with anybody, and we can play with Indian River too, so it'll be a good game.
So it's a sectional championship game versus IR in the Dome. We need to get as many people there as possible to just help support the football team. We need to be there and be loud and help them win against IR. It's a huge game. We need as many people as possible, so please come out and support. All right, now we're back. I'd just like to say thank you very much for Nick Cav for coming out and doing an interview with me. So now to move on to the national sports. In the MLB, the Red Sox won the World Series. I'm a Yankees fan. They sang New York, New York in the locker room. A little hurt, so we're moving on. In the NFL, it's very important. Fitzmagic is back. Huge story. Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in the game with 2:10 left in the third after Jameis Winston threw 4 picks. Fitzpatrick leads the Bucs back from an 18-point deficit and ties the game with 1:10 left in the game. Unfortunately, the Bengals won on a 44-yard field goal. So Fitzmagic's back, leading the offense again, looking strong, but Bucs defense not doing too hot.
Yikes.
So this is huge news. Jacksonville Jaguars players Barry Church, Rodney Harrison, Jared Wilson, and DJ Hayden were arrested Saturday night in London. They were arrested for failing to pay their tab, but were later released with no further actions taken by police. The police said in their statement that the 4 men were arrested on suspicion of fraud by false representation. Now this was Saturday night before their game in London. So this is huge to the NFL. Like, you send your players over to a different country and they get arrested. So we're waiting to hear more facts on that, hear how the story plays out, but we'll see.
Wow, that's interesting because when Nick Cav was here for his interview, and he said that was one of the main things leading up to the big game, that they were telling their players to not get in trouble. So it's kind of funny that the professionals can't even get their act together.
Yeah, especially like when you're an athlete, you have a target on your back. You gotta stay clean. You gotta stay out. You have a spotlight on you, and so you just gotta stay out of all that.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to NCAA basketball. A jury on Wednesday convicted the 3 defendants accused of pay-for-play schemes to influence high-profile basketball recruits to attend Kansas, Louisville, and NC State. So we'll see if there's any implications that come down, and if NCAA hands out any punishments, what happens with those schools, and what they'll do in the future to help prevent this from happening again.
Those are big name schools too.
They definitely are.
Yeah.
All right, on to NCAA football. Syracuse is ranked for the first time since 2001. Syracuse is ranked 22nd after starting the season 6-2. This past weekend, Cuse upset number 22 ranked NC State in the Dome. Eric Dungey led the Orange to a 51-41 win over the Wolfpack. Eric Dungey went 27 for 38 with 411 passing yards, 32 rushing yards, and 4 total touchdowns. During the game, Eric Dungey passed Donovan McNabb for most yards of total offense in program history. This is Dungey's 15th school record.
Wow. What impresses me about Eric Dungey, obviously those stats, but also there was a lot of speculation in terms of Dickinson, the quarterback that came in. DeVito for the previous game, and they were saying that maybe he should be replaced or what was going to happen in terms of what Babers was going to do. And so good for him for stepping up and and pulling out the W.
DeVito's a very good young player. He's very young, very inexperienced, very talented though, but Dungy's our best quarterback. He's our best player. He's our leader of the team, and you're not going to go face a ranked opponent without your main guy backing your team up.
Yeah.
So that's definitely huge. So now we're adding a new segment. It's going to be the game of the week. So we're going to go up throughout the year, look at a game, any NCAA, NBA, NFL, anything. And we're going to think the most important game of the week, and we're going to try, Leo and I, or if we have a special guest, are going to go and pick the team that we think is going to win. So this week's game is Alabama at LSU. So what are your thoughts on that, Leo?
Okay, so this is a big game in terms of Alabama has had some really big wins this season. I've done a lot of research on this, but like you said, they're away at LSU. LSU fans are pumped up. They're going to get into it. They're going to go crazy. And I think there's going to be a big presence of the kind of like the 12th man. And so I'm going to pick LSU. I think although Alabama is good, LSU has had some big wins against schools like Florida, Georgia, while Alabama has not faced competition like that. So I think LSU is more seasoned of a team, and Alabama, even though their record is looking good and so is their stats, but they just haven't faced competition like LSU or the LSU defense.
Very interesting. So it's very tough for me. The game's at LSU. Now, LSU fans, crazy, insane. Death Valley, one of the hardest places to play in the nation. Bama's good, but at LSU, really tough opponents have fell at LSU. Fans are going to be in it. They have a great defense this year. Bama has a good offense, but I think I might go Bama. Roll Tide. Bama has an offense this year. Just think about that. Bama has an offense. They've always had an elite defense and elite running game. But Bama has an offense with Tua Tagovailoa. So that's just, LSU is going to be a very difficult game for them at LSU, but roll Tide.
No, go Tigers. That's a wrap.